Hey, yo, peace, everybody. Peace, love, and obedience to the Most High Yah. I want to get straight to it with this video. I want to get straight to the meat and potatoes and no vegetables. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I did this video, I want to talk about this right now. Now, I want to talk about how this seed of David is a prince and a priest upon his throne. Some may say king, but make sure that's a lowercase king because that means prince. For Yah is the king of kings, and there's only one king of Israel, and that's Yah. But he has made that seed of David and our forefather, the original David, a prince among his people. But I want to talk about this because a lot of our elders and a lot of our people do not speak about how this coming prince will be a prince and a priest. This is where the New Testament get the story of YHWH or Jesus from. They're not wrong because the Jewish historian writer, right, of the New Testament, who was part of the Roman emperor, right, the Malachi Edomite, he understood when writing the New Testament that this Messiah or Mashiach or this coming prince to be will be a prince and a priest upon his throne because it was prophesied, and not only for the future, but most don't even put it together and understand that this has been the order of the seed of David since Yah has put David on the scepter. Since Yah has put David on the throne, this has been the order. Now, there's things missing in the book to where it doesn't go into depth and in detail like that. But if you look through the book and see the things that Yah is saying, we see this has been the order that he has been operating. Our forefather David has been operating in the order of the Melchizedek, and that is a prince and a priest. Now, why did I use the name Melchizedek? Now, if you read through Genesis, you will see that Melchizedek appeared and he went to go meet Abraham, right? And in the story, it is said that Melchizedek was a king, but you should say prince. He was a king and priest in Salem, right? Salem is now Jerusalem. But back then it was called Salem because Jerusalem wasn't, it was no Jerusalem yet, you know what I'm saying? So, but he was a prince or king and priest unto Yah way back then. So when Yah fast forwards, right, to this beautiful song right here that David has written, now you must understand like who is David writing about and who is speaking these words of David. See, this is Psalms chapter 110, and we're going to read verse 4. Now, David wrote this psalm, but it is the Levites in the temple, the priesthood, who are singing this psalm, right? So they're singing this psalm, and this psalm is about David, you know? So, that's just so people don't get confused who this psalm is about and who is speaking. It's the Levites singing about David, but David wrote the psalm for them to sing. Now let's go to it. I'm using my phone right now because I'm on my tablet. Okay, let me go to. There's so many chapters in Psalms. It's so beautiful, but it's a lot of chapters. Okay, Psalms 110, right? Verse 4. Then it reads, Yah has sworn and will not change his mind, right? It says Yah has sworn and he will not change his mind. And then he says, you are a priest forever according to the order of Melchizedek. That's why Yah chose to say in the order of Melchizedek, because that order right there is prince or king and priest upon his throne. Now we must understand that some of us are so caught up in idolatry. Whenever this is being brought up, you automatically tie it to the JC dude or the YHWH dude, and you dismiss it. But this is very important that this coming Mashiach, this seed of David, a descendant of our forefather David, who will be risen up from among his people, for he is among his people when Yah delivers Zion or Jerusalem, and then he brings back this seed of David also with Zion and Jerusalem. Yah will put him upon the throne in the order of Melchizedek, same way as our forefathers. Now when you go into I want to show how our forefathers also was in this order as well. Because when you go to Zechariah chapter 6, right? Go to Zechariah chapter 6, go to verse 13. Then it reads, yes, it is he who will build the temple of Yah. You know, many people think this is a prophecy of the future Messiah, but we're going to talk about it. It is he who will build the temple of Yah, and he who will bear the honor and sit and rule on his throne. Thus he will be a priest on his throne, and the council of peace will be between the two offices. So this Moshiach, right? Or let's talk about who this could be talked about in context. This could be talking about Zerubbabel. If you know anything about, if you read the book of Zechariah, then you know it's talking about Zerubbabel. It's talking about the high priest. Yehoshua you know, it's talking about them. So if you want to put it in context and you want to say, well, that's talking about Zerubbabel. Well, we see right here that Yah was working in the order of Melchizedek with Zerubbabel as well, because Zerubbabel did get the decree from Cyrus to go build the temple. And he did build the second temple unto Yah. So since he built it, and we're talking about it right here in Zechariah, and it's making mention of Zerubbabel, then we see that he was working in the order of the Melchizedek. He was a prince and a priest upon his throne. Some try to say he wasn't a prince and just say he was a governor. That don't even make sense right there. Nah. Even if he was just a governor, he was still a governor and a priest upon his throne. So right then and there, Yah has been working in that order with the seed of David still. With the seed of David, he's been working like that with Zerubbabel. Or if you want to say this is the future prophecy, then this is the prophecy of this seed of David that shall be risen up and brought back. You know what I'm saying? So look, check it out. We're going to go to, I believe it's First Chronicles chapter 17. Let me see, First Chronicles chapter 17, verse 27. Let me make sure this is correct. Let me see. Okay, so it must be Second Chronicles then. Okay, Second Chronicles 17. Nah, it has to be First Chronicles. You know. Okay, well, it talks about how David, when he was on a run from Saul, right? And then it says and speaks on how David was wearing the linen of ephod, the attire of the priesthood. That's what priesthood wear. That's a part of the attire, that ephod. Why was he wearing the ephod? Because he wasn't even on the throne yet. But when he went to go see the priest, when he was running from Saul, you know what I'm saying? Like, they gave him that attire. Why did they give him that attire? Why did they give him that? Why did they give him that kind of garment with the ephod and also give him some showbread? Why was David able to eat this showbread? Because only the priest can eat the showbread. Because David is a priest himself. That's why. So he didn't commit a crime. He didn't break the law by eating his showbread. You know, that just came to me right now. Like, it just reminded me of when I was watching a Yah Righteousness episode back in the day. And even to this day, they would say that David didn't eat no showbread, or that wasn't no showbread because that was for the priest, and the Most High Yah wouldn't do that. Or they would say, well, he probably ate it, but there was consequences. But they don't never put it together and say that David was also a priest and a prince on his throne. So he didn't break no law. He can eat the showbread because he's a prince and a priest. And he was wearing the linen of ephod because he's a prince and a priest. This seed of David is a prince and a priest. Now, Yah Righteousness, he don't say that he's a priest. He just say, he puts it together that he is this prince. You know? And also you got others that put it together and just say that they're this prince. Because none of them understand, or too stubborn or too arrogant to understand that this seed of David will be a prince and a priest. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just thankful that the Most High Yah has given me some insight, blessed me with this, because he already told me that I'm from the seed of David. So I'm glad he gave me that understanding to know that, okay, let me talk to my other seeds of David. Let me talk to the house of Israel. Let me let them know. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of misguided things being spoken about. I don't care how scholarful you are. I like that word. I don't care how scholarful you are. It means colorful, you know what I mean? Personality or witty, know a lot. I don't care how scholarful you are. Still a lot of things that you guys miss or don't even put forth out there, but it just put upon me. I just did, I just spoke the same thing over a beat. I didn't have that much time, so I said I'm gonna do a video. So I'm doing a video now. So I just said this over a beat, kind of got to the point on there. But it's important to understand that this seed of David is a prince and a priest. And this is where they get that idolatry from in the New Testament, right? So now I'm not saying this is idolatry, but this is where they get that idolatrous person, YHWH or JC, and combine the two offices together. But they also call him a prophet, which is that's true as well, because the Most High Yah will let the seed of David know who he is within captivity. So that's making him a prophet. Prophet also means a messenger. So he's also a messenger unto Zion, unto Jerusalem, unto his people. So it fits. So this is why they connected that. And that Jewish historian, the illuminated Amalekite Edomite, created that story of JC and Yahushua being a prophet, prince, and a priest. Because these are the traits and the attributes that will be upon this seed of Dawi. But it has always been upon this seed of Dawi. Was not Dawi a prophet as well? Did he not prophesy? Did he not Was he not a messenger of the Most High Yah? And we see that he was a priest and a prince upon his throne. If you want to say king, you know how I feel about it. I'm gonna say it again. Yah is the king. The king of kings. Only call Yah king. He's the only king. But if you want to say king, make sure you lowercase that thing, because that represent the prince. Uppercase that, then we talking about the Almighty Yah. You know what I'm saying? Just had to go ahead and say that, knock that out the park right quick. But I'm gonna end this video off right here because I'm gonna find myself just going in circles, rambling and rumbling. But I just want to get that out there, man. All praise to the Almighty Yah. Make sure you move in this right here. Move with peace, love, and obedience unto the Most High. Yeah, gone.